Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's podcast with me Noval Akila Asraf from PSIK 24A. And today we have a special guest, Mr. Supriyadi Panggawilan.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm going to talk about this important topic.
And today we will discuss an important issue, the recent flooding in Medan. And Mr. Medan has experienced flooding many times in the past. Can you explain why flooding happens so often in Medan?
There are several reasons for this. Heavy rainfall during the rainy season is one major factor, but there are also human-related causes like poor drainage system, illegal constructions near rivers, and deforestation. This problem reduces the ability of the land to absorb water, causing floods like that.
That's interesting, but I wonder how much of this problem is related to climate change. Does climate change make the flooding worse?
Yes, definitely. Climate change increase the intensity of weather events. We are seeing heavier rains and stronger storms than before. Rising sea levels caused by global warming also increase the risk of flooding, especially in low-lying areas like parts of Iran.
So we are dealing with natural factors and man-made factors.
Okay, exactly. The natural factors are getting worse because of human activities, like cutting down forests and improper waste management.
In addition to this issue, is there a specific part of Medan that tends to flood the most?
Okay, yes, certain areas near rivers or those with poor drainage infrastructure are more vulnerable. For example, neighborhoods built on lying land or those with dense construction often experience the worst flooding because there's nowhere for the water to go. Yes.
What is the impact of the recent flooding on people of Medan?
Okay. Thank you, Noval. The effects are both short-term and long-term. In the short term, flooding damage homes, business, and infrastructure like roads and bridges. Many people lose access to clean water and electricity. In the long term, repeat flooding can lead to health problems such as waterborne disease and economic instability as a business struggle to recover. Like that.
That sounds serious. What about schools and public facilities? Do they get affected too?
Okay, yes. Schools and public facilities are often affected. Classes may be cancelled and health centers may struggle to operate. This disrupt daily life and impact the community's well-being.
In your opinion, how does the flooding impact children specifically? Does it affect their education or health more severely?
Okay, children are particularly vulnerable when schools close due to the flooding. They miss out on education, which can affect their long-term academic performance. Additionally, children are more likely to suffer from waterborne illnesses or injuries during floods, which impact their physical health.
Okay. Are there any particular sectors of the economy in Medan that suffer the most during floods?
Yes, small business, agriculture, and transportation are hit hardest. Flooding disrupts supply chains, damages crops, and makes it difficult for workers to commute. This creates a ripple effect throughout the local economy.
Okay, let's talk about the solution.
Okay.
What steps can the government take to prevent or reduce the impact of flooding?
Okay, nice question. The government should prioritize improving the drainage systems, enforcing laws to prevent illegal construction near rivers, planting more trees and protecting forests are also important too. Increase water absorption. Additionally, public awareness, like me and you, awareness campaign can educate people on how to manage waste and reduce littering in rivers.
Talking about society, how can local people contribute to preventing floods?
Okay, local people play a key role. They can stop throwing trash into rivers, participate in tree planting program, and be active in community clean-up efforts. Educating children about the environment can also create long-term change like that.
Okay, that's a good point. Do you think technology like early warning system can help reduce the risk of flooding?
Okay, absolutely. Early warning systems that use real data can alert communities before heavy rain occur. Now, mobile apps and social media can also be used to spread information quickly. Technology can save lives. Me, you, and all of them. We ask in this Medan, especially lives in implemented properly.
Speaking of solution, are there examples of other cities in Indonesia or around the world that Medan could learn from in managing floods?
Okay, yes. Cities like Surabaya and Jakarta have implemented retention ponds and improved their drainage systems. Internationally, places like the Netherlands use advanced flood control infrastructure like dikes and pumps. Medan is a city, it's not a Kota city, Medan city can certainly learn from these examples, from Surabaya, from Jakarta, and from Netherlands, like that.
And what do you think about Medan's current city planning? Is it enough to handle the increasing risk of flooding?
Unfortunately, city planning in Medan still has gaps. Many areas are overdeveloped without proper drainage. The government needs to integrate flood prevention measures into their urban planning places, such as creating green space and retention ponds, like that.
Before we end, do you have any advice for our listeners on how to stay safe during floods?
Okay, everybody, listening of mini podcast. Of course, always be prepared by having an emergency kit with essential like water, food, and medicine. Pay attention to new updates, and if authorities advise evacuation, follow their instruction immediately. Safety should always come first.
One last question.
Okay.
if you could give one message to both the government
Okay.
and local communities about this issue, who would it be?
Okay, it's a good question. My message would be that collaboration is key. We know that kolaborasi Medan berkah. We can now the government, local organization, and citizens must work. Once again, the government, local organization, and citizens must work together to create lasting solutions. Now, it's not just about fixing the problem temporarily, but building resilience for the future.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Supriyadi Panggabean,
Okay, you're welcome.
for sharing your knowledge and insight. This has been a very informative discussion.
Okay, you're welcome, Naufal Akila Asra. Thank you for raising awareness about this important issue. Okay,
And that's all for today's podcast. Thank you for listening. So everyone stay safe and don't forget to take care your environment. See you in the next time.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.